and welcome to our 25th episode of the Non-League Heroes podcast with your host, as always, it's Dan Welch and Dan Walkley. Good afternoon, good evening, Dan.
Hello, mate. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, mate, actually. Not too bad at all. What have you been up to?
Good. Nothing. My first real weekend without football, to be honest.
Yeah.
Going to, obviously, yesterday, so Sunday was quite good. You had the playoff finals for National League South and North, so I watched them. Obviously, the cup final Saturday. So I still watched a load of football. I just didn't go to it. It's been all right. Yours?
Yeah, quiet, very quiet. The Strath played their Deacon White Cup Friday night. I didn't get to it. I had a mad toothache, so I didn't bother going. But it was carnage, mate. I've watched the highlights back, and so basically they're playing St Joe's in the Deacon White, which is pretty much I think it's Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, and something else. It might be Buckinghamshire or something, Leighton or something like that. Basically, it's like a Champions League of Sunday League teams. The Strath got to the final against St Joe's, who we know are probably one of the best Sunday League teams in the country, or have been in the past, and it set up for a really good game. And Strath were down to 9 men after 2.5 minutes. I've watched it. I watched it back. The goalkeeper's come flying out and brought down the striker. It's a yellow card penalty all day long. But the referee in his 90s, I think, 35 stone, miles away from it, as you fucking expect, sends him off. And literally the penalty's saved and everything's fucking going mad in the box. The geezer's shot, it's flicked up, hit the centre half on the hand, another straight red card. And a penalty.
It's so Sunday League, isn't it? It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've seen the clip. So. And
then they get another penalty, which is eventually scored. They're Strath down to 9 men, get it down 1-0, then it goes to 2-0. I spoke to Joe the Gaffer and he was like, I thought it was going to be a cricket score. I said, well, Friday night away from home in Luton against St Joe's, their home patch near enough, AFC Dunstable, you would expect. But then Lee Dyke scored an absolute worldie, one-touch bang just before the stroke of half-time. And then half-time, they've come out to play and the floodlights have turned off. So they gave it 10 minutes, played a little bit, but just got too dark and couldn't continue. So the referee eventually called it off. So they get a replay.
When's that then?
I think they'll be starting next season now, but I think I've seen a lot. I mean, I don't really get on with officials, but I've seen a lot of hate towards these officials that Friday night. Apparently, they're really unfit for the thing. So I think in the end, that's a fucking win for Strath, 9 men and getting a replay. But apparently they're well on top. So but I missed that. But yeah, apart from that, nothing, mate. Really.
I think that floodlight failure's done them well. I'd like to know if there's any electricians in that side.
You got to hope for the best. Go cut the lights or something. Get a replay.
Maybe cut the right one.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to get my driving license after 36 years. I've been taking some lessons now. I've got a test date, but it's not till August, so I'm trying to get it closer, hopefully before the start of next season, because the Berkhamsted teams, the Berkhamsted League has come out, hasn't it? Have you seen what the league we've been going?
Yeah, League Constitutions. Yeah, you're having some lovely trips down to Plymouth and Weymouth, and long old way.
Been putting a Southern. I think our closest game is about just under an hour. I think it's Uxbridge and then Farnham, and then I think most of them are like an hour and a half, up to about 4.5 hours. So hopefully I'll get my car and I'll be able to drive to a few games. But hopefully the club will be putting on a coach for the majority of them. Because
you'd like to think so, especially those longer trips.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
It's a long way. Because it's not just that; it's the mental thing driving. Do you know what I mean? Concentration. You'll be knackered by the time you get there.
I'll go down there on a Thursday night or something.
Tuesday in the middle of winter.
Yeah, but any other surprises was there for the league constitutions?
In the leagues, well, we saw AFC Greenwich Borough. There was a lot of debate around them going in straight into step 6. So had a little look around, and couldn't really see too much. Greenwich Bow actually folded in 2022. And I think there's some kind of ruling around Phoenix clubs going straight back into step 6. I think if you look back at the likes of AFC Wimbledon, Bury, Macclesfield, they all went back in at step 6. So that may be the reasoning behind that. But then I also saw the other day that they've taken over another team, a bit like SE Dons did with Forest Park Hill. Yeah. So there was a lot of speculation around that. They went into the Southern Counties East Football League in its step 6. The combined County South and Isthmian Southern Central leagues have got a lot of TBCs in it because we're still waiting for playoff games, which we have had confirmed today, so Monday the 19th, that they will be played this weekend, starting the 24th, but we still don't know who's playing who yet. So we know there's going to be 2 semi-finals, but we don't know who's who yet. Red Hill put in their appeal, or they had until 5 o'clock on Monday, so today, to do that. We've not heard anything otherwise, so we assume they've put in their appeal, have a hearing midweek, and then go from there. So that'll be interesting to see how those leagues line up next season. So they're going to be strong leagues again. But the thing that gets me, Step 6 has got the Step 6 division has got so many teams.
Yeah, it's like 22 to 24 in there in some.
Yeah, like saying the combined counties in Div 1, there's 24 teams in that division. That's a 46 league game season. Then you've got the FA Cup, you've got the FA Vars, you've got the League Cup, and the combined counties then have a Division 1 Cup. Then you've got your county cups. You're looking at 60 odd games a season, and
struggling all in as it is.
It's not that. It's how can you get a solid squad who can commit to 60 games a season?
Yeah,
you got no chance. Like look at Woodley last season. They stayed up obviously last day, but they used over 50 players because of the backlog of fixtures. They couldn't get commitment all the time from players, so a lot of chopping and changing, which obviously doesn't help. So the thing for me is would scrap the League Cups. I mean, does anyone really care about League Cups?
Yeah, I think they just put them on for teams to. But the problem is, you get the teams at the top who can sustain that, can't you? But then you get teams at the bottom who you feel sorry for. But then, how do you please both teams? Because the teams at the top, they want to play for as many cups as possible.
Yeah, but then if you've got county cups and district cups, then just play for them. Surely you put all your eggs in those baskets. But what they should do is, if the season does finish early for some miracle, like put the cups on at the end of the season.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And then if there is any scope, play it. If there's not, scrap it. I mean, let's be honest. If you speak to any manager pre-season, their target isn't going to be, I want to win the League Cup, is it?
No, that's true. That is true, yeah. I mean, there must be a method behind the madness, but who is it? It's the FA we're dealing with, and we know that their madness is madness. So,
yeah, I'm talking about madness. Not the band. They're changing the whole game system, aren't they? It was already in place, but after this whole debacle about what we now believe the referee hasn't put in yellow and red cards this season, 29 yellows and 4 reds apparently hasn't gone on whole game system, which is where Red Hill's been caught out.
Yeah.
And by the way, that yellow card still isn't on whole game system. So how you can be suspended if it's not on a system and not being put through. But anyway, apparently they're changing that because I know from step 4 upwards, is it IFAS where the clubs put them in. So hopefully that will eradicate any of these issues again, because there's been so many step 5 clubs and leagues that have had these eligibility issues up and down the country. I know Lyd Town were Lyd Town. I don't know the right word. They got stung by it basically, and then they called others out, and it's been a similar situation. Is it Doncaster City? A team that like Ross McCormack and then went to a couple of years ago. They've been they got fined and deducted points as well for an ineligible player because of it wasn't on the system. Luckily for them, they had already won the league, so that they've been promoted to step 4. But it can't be a person or club issue if so many clubs are doing it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I said from the start, it's an absolute mess. I've dealt with the whole game system before. It's not good, and I can see why things get inputted wrong and correctly misled, and teams are getting messed up by it because it's easily done. Like you said, the referee has missed out 30 yellow cards. I mean, you can only get that on whole game system if the referee bloody puts it through.
Yeah, so I mean that's got to be a license gone, and that's shocking. Like it's negligence of your job, and it's probably cost. We may understand it cost Red Hill the title.
Yeah,
and probably Jersey as well. So yeah, so
he shouldn't ref again, but you know what the FA are like. He'll probably get the playoff final.
Yeah, he'll get a cup final.
He'll get the playoff final in a couple of weeks
and a promotion.
Fucking absolute pelters.
Yeah, so talking of playoff finals, Luke Garrard promised last season when Bournemouth got relegated into step 2 that they'd bounce straight back up, and look what they've done.
He's done.
Come from, well, obviously that title race was pretty crazy and some massive teams in there.
Yeah.
But hit form at the right time, hit the momentum. Obviously went to Torquay, won there. They beat Dorking as well, didn't they?
Yep.
In that mad game. Yeah, and then obviously won at home yesterday. So, yeah, fantastic job Luke Garrard's done there. He's destined for the Football League, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fantastic manager. I remember when they took Bournemouth to Everton. Must be about 3 years ago now. Got to like the fifth qualifying round, the fifth round of the FA Cup or some madness like that. Yeah, he was destined for the top then, but then he obviously had that difficult season last year. And I thought it might have tarnished his managerial career, but he's gone. Obviously, he's come back midway through the season or near the start of the season, and he's got him straight back. But Bournemouth, they've got a fantastic setup. I've been Berkhamsted trained there on a Thursday night. It's fucking unreal. It's a football league club. It's fantastic facilities over there. They've got everything there to be a football league club. And I think under Luke Garrard, if they keep the same core of the players now and just build, I'm pretty sure they'll be challenging at the top of the Premier Division.
National League. Yeah, I think they'll do well in that. And obviously Scunthorpe going back up as well, looking to get back into the Football League. They've bounced straight back up.
Some massive clubs in them leagues, isn't there?
Yeah, the National League next year is going to be huge. Obviously, you've got Morecambe and Carlisle coming down as well. Mark Hughes still at Carlisle, managing in the National League. But yeah, that's going to be a fantastic league next season. So many big clubs in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I think I watched both games. The Scunthorpe game was much, much better. It was played more as a cup final, I would say, and the Bournemouth Maidstone game there wasn't much to it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, congratulations to both teams there. I don't think they're in any danger of going straight back down next season. In fact, like I said, I reckon they'll both be pushing playoffs next year in the National League.
No, I totally agree with you.
What do you make of the National League North with Oxford City, Bedford, and Merthyr all in the north?
It's a car crash, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you can't, just because the amount of teams and where they are, it can't be helped. But that's a long old way, isn't it, for all of them?
Well, obviously we've got a Bedford Town player coming on shortly. I'll hopefully get his views on it. But for my views, I think it's happened to Bishop Stortford. They got relegated straight away. I mean, I'm good friends with Lee Bertram. He does a wonderful job wherever he is, wherever he goes, and he survives. He survives. He's either winning the leagues or he's surviving, and in the leagues where they shouldn't be competing. So I'll be interested to see his retained list. It's a big ask for players like the Ryan Blakes, the Leon Lobjoits, who we're going to be chatting to soon. Just a big ask. Gateshead, is it Gateshead or North Shields, South Shields, teams like that? That's 6.5 hours.
It's crazy. Well, I saw that spreadsheet that people done for Murphy, if they were to be put in there. There's like some 9-hour round trips.
Yeah. Longer than that, isn't it? It's literally at the bottom as well, isn't it? It's at the bottom of Wales.
Yeah, it's not on the coast, but it is South Wales. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. So you've got so even Kings Lynn, which obviously isn't up north, but it's across the country, 8.5 hour round trip. Someone's put on here with no traffic. So expecting some traffic, but Darlington 9 hours 52 round trip. South Shields 11 hours 8 minutes round trip. Fucking hell. Scarborough 10 hours.
This is the thing,
10 hours.
We say about this year. I'm in a members group with the Burco fans, and before the leagues have come out, they were saying about Central or South. Every single one of them wanted to do South because they just want to do all the away days. So for the fans' perspective, I bet.
Oh yeah, brilliant!
You're going to be loving that. Stayovers, 5-star hotels in South Shields on a Tuesday night.
Is there any?
But then it'll all come down to your team and if they can compete, and if you can get the players to do this travelling, or if you can afford to. You're gonna have to start chucking the money out at some point, and it's going to have to be now. But as long as these teams that can compete in there. And not going in that league to get absolutely annihilated because they can't afford to keep their players from the season before. I'm all for it, and the fans will love the away days. But
yeah, the fans are going to love it.
As I said, yeah, as long as they can compete, because if you can't compete, that's a fucking long old season.
That's the thing. You've got to be looking at Bedford and Merthyr there to be battling relegation, really. With no disrespect to them, that it's a big commitment.
Yeah,
in the National League South, I think they do all right, but that's a massive commitment because you've not only got to recruit new players, because like you said, there's going to be a lot of players that are not going to fancy that. You've got to have the volunteers have got to be bang on it as well. Like you say, the travel, it's a massive financial commitment as well as a personal one.
The coaches are going to probably be $2,000 a week.
Yeah.
And that's just the basic, isn't it? To get your players there and back. About everything else that comes with it. So, yeah. You say about Bedford Town. Bedford Town, they should have been actually battling relegation in step 3. In the league. They only had about, I think it's just over £3,000 a week budget, and that considering you put that against Kettering, who finished second in the end, I think.
There's step 5 teams with a bigger budget than that.
Yeah, it's mad. But let's see how it pans out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you say, Merthyr and Bedford both up there for the first time, so you're going to be absolutely buzzing. Do you think Merthyr may, if they do struggle next season, though, may reconsider that offer from the Welsh FA or the Welsh Premier League? Now that they've been there and done that?
I think it might be an option for them, especially if they take a really bad, heavy season.
Especially financially as well, because the money they were being offered to move over.
They're going to get hammered financially this year. So it could well be an option if the option's still open. You'd like to think the clubs will do anything that will benefit their own selves, but they've decided to stick to their guns and they're going for it next season. So fair play to them.
Yeah. Well, we'll obviously be watching that as long as with the National League South as well. So looking forward to those next season.
Yeah, definitely. And it's time for our first guest of the evening. He's probably the most prolific goal scorer in non-league at the minute. It's Leon Lobjoit. Hello, Leon.
Hello, guys. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, all good.
Right, so just before we get in, just give our listeners a little bit of background about yourself, where you've been, how many goals you've scored and whatnot.
So, I started off in academy as a youngster. So I was at MK Dons, went to Leicester, been at Coventry, QPRs, dropped out the game and went into non-league, and I've knocked about all different places at non-leagues, scored a couple of goals here and there, but I settled down really at Leighton. So I've done a good year at Leighton and then moved on to Bedford, and I've been there ever since.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very, very impressive non-league career. As I've got it on your Aylesbury archive in a minute, but I think we'll start around the Leighton Town 2021-22 season, or was it the 22-23 season? I think the second season you was there. It was under Lee Bertram, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and your stats. I've got 51 games, 60 goals.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a fantastic achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was very impressive. Very good for me to even be able to do that, and just being able to express myself, and it was amazing. To be fair, good season that was.
Yeah, and obviously, I think after the Leighton Town, you went to Daventry. I think Daventry come in for you. Was that some big dough?
Yeah, they offered me decent money for that sort of level, so it was like a no-brainer for me at the time.
Yeah, and 23 games, 29 goals again.
Yeah. I haven't really counted them. I don't really.
Yeah, I bet you ain't.
Too humble.
Let's talk about Bedford Town. I mean, the rise of Bedford Town over the last 2 years. I mean, under Lee Bertram, I mean, you and Lee Bertram basically come as a two from the Leighton Town days. But just how good has the couple of years at Bedford Town been for you?
Oh, they've been amazing. I went there, obviously. They were fighting for the title. Them, and at the time it was Biggleswade, and Biggleswade won it in the end. But at the time there, it was a good battle. We was both up, down, both going for it, pushing for it. I just, under him, you're going to be challenging, you're going to be fighting for something, you've always got to be 100% ready. So yeah, man, it's been great. It's been good.
Yeah, so you got the promotion to Step 3, and obviously this season teams were probably not expecting Bedford Town to even compete, and you've gone and won it. I mean, just tell us about the season.
100%. Even I thought the same as well. To be fair, for us, it weren't about winning the league. It was just to stay safe. I think it was 5th from bottom we had to be, and I think we achieved way over what we could. But it's just hard work from everyone. The boys, credit to them all, the club, the staff, everyone's just been amazing, and we just got the job done. To be fair.
Yeah, that's incredible. If your target was 5th from bottom to then go and win it in a title race that unfolded, because that was moving every week, wasn't it? Every minute of every game.
It was a scary one to be in as well, because you had the likes of Telford, Kettering, and their top teams, Helzo, and they're no jokes. They're teams that even your Harbours and that were coming through. 1 minute you can be there, and then the next minute you can drop points. You know what it's like anyway. So I'm glad we managed to do it.
What was it like being in that title race with the whole talk around the merger going on? Did that affect you much on the pitch, or did Lee kind of keep that away from you?
Not for us boys. For us boys, it was just keep your head on the football and let us sort it out what's going on off the pitch. So none of us, we didn't have to get involved in anything like that. It was just more of a chitter-chatter sort of thing.
Yeah, because there's always that thing, isn't there? Especially like in the professional game where there's ownership issues or things happening off the pitch. They always talk about how does it affect on the pitch. So it's good to know that you were kind of shielded from that. And you obviously got the job done. So speaks for itself, really.
Now, so Bedford Town, National League North. I mean, I don't know what your plans are, if you can tell us your plans, but that's exciting times for the club. Oh, yeah, no, it's amazing. Everyone's buzzing, everyone at the club, the fans, because obviously they've supported the club for many years, and they can't wait for it. So, and for myself, I'm not sure what I'm doing at the minute, but I'm just here enjoying myself and just waiting to see what happens. Yeah, no, well, obviously Bedford Town now Step 2. I mean, Step 2, would that be? That's got to be one of your. Obviously, you've come out of academies, but that'll be the highest that you've played. Yeah. To be fair, it would be. Yeah. No, definitely. So I'm looking at your stats overall. I've got 214 games, 191 goals. That is incredible. Yeah, I didn't even know. But you're almost averaging a goal a game. So what is it? What are you as a striker? For those that probably haven't seen you play.
Just hungry, energetic, love to score goals. And if I don't score goals, I'm not happy. So I'm just I just love to score goals. I'm just hungry for that.
Yeah, no, true. So let's talk about your relationship with Lee Bertram. I mean, that's got to be some partnership there.
Oh no, he's been top quality for me. He's done a lot for me and my family. Obviously, we went through a really bad time, and he's just him and the club, but him himself. Yeah, he's been amazing. He's just supported me, and he's had my back through everything. And yeah, I'll always respect him and love him for that.
Just how good of a manager is he? I mean, I know we were saying before you came on that every time he's at a club, like when he got the Step 2 job at Hemel, he had a budget of literally pathetic stuff, and he made them survive. Like he's either in a title race, or he's punching well above his weight and just showing everyone that he's probably man management is very good.
Yeah, no, he's quality. He's one of the best I've worked with. He just knows what he's doing. He's just and he knows how to build a team and get a good team willing to fight. So he's top manager.
That's going to come in very handy. Those traits come in handy next season in the North, because that travel every other week is going to take its toll, isn't
it? Yeah, that's
will you be on that team, coach, or what?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
Fair enough. So Ballers League, you've been part of the Ballers League as well this year?
Yes, I've went down and had a couple games. Yes, quality.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. A lot.
Was it M7 you played for? Was it?
Say again, sorry.
No, that M7 you played for.
Vision.
Oh, Vision. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who was? What do you make of it? We spoke to a couple of players. We had Ben Long on a couple of weeks ago, and he's obviously England six-a-side captain, so he plays small-sided football anyway. But was there a massive difference for you going into that? Because obviously a lot of them are 11-a-side players, aren't they?
Yeah. I think on the football side of things, it's good. Everyone's technically good. You got your players that obviously are used to playing that, and your players that play 11-a-side. But I feel fitness-wise, it's a lot harder. But keeping up to the level and playing the football is just normal, isn't it? It's a good standard. It's a good level. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
Oh, nice. You mentioned before that you started out at academies. What was it like being part of a professional team's academy as a youngster?
It was good. Obviously, I started young as well, so it was good to come through the ranks. And obviously, your standards are high, and you bring them standards with you, don't you? So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, do you think that's helped you progress? Kind of where you are now, obviously Bedford getting promoted, but into Step 2 with the level of coaching that you maybe had as a kid, rather than the players that have come through kind of raw in non-league and then stepped up.
Yeah. I'd say so. It is a big of like what I'm doing today. Obviously, playing it as an academy, I think in my head it feels like I've developed a bit earlier, understanding and stuff like that. So I feel that it has helped me. But then there's players that have played non-league football from young, and they're great. They're just a non-league player and they do what they do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess it's the experience as well, isn't it?
It's experience. Yeah,
a lot. Because I think, I guess you look at the likes of, I don't know, like I always go back to Richie Kone, who's obviously gone from Athletic Newham, and then he's gone on to play, obviously at Wickham this season, where they clearly have that raw talent, but they've got the experience in non-league, or they know how to win a game, they know how to put themselves about. Whereas, I guess with you, you're bringing the more of the mentality side to it, like from your discipline, from the standards that have been given to you from that academy process.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man.
So, Leon, what's the future like? What does it look like for you? Sorry, are you wanting to still progress up the leagues, or are you happy like just playing around your level and just keep banging in the goals? Or what is it?
Yeah, I'm just happy to keep playing and banging in the goals. As long as I'm happy, I know that I'm scoring goals. So the main thing for me is if I'm enjoying my football and I know what I can bring to a team and how I can help a team. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, no, for sure. But now, listen, mate, it's short but sweet. But I really appreciate you coming on tonight, taking your time out for us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries, yeah. Hopefully, next season.
Yeah, keep banging them goals in, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Cheers, Leon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.
Bye, mate. Yeah, and there we have it. Short and sweet, that one. Leon Lobjoit. Very prolific goal scorer. Very good. Bangs goals.
That speak for themselves, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, 200 goals near enough in 200 games. Can't really argue with that, can you?
As a famous pundit once said, that's almost a goal a game.
Yeah. I know.
I won't say you because I'll get in trouble.
But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he just seems very laid back and he's just happy to go with the flow, isn't he?
Yeah. But I get what you're saying about he couldn't commit to next season yet, could he? I mean, that travel, especially for a lot of the boys, I assume, if they're more like London way, like south of Bedford, that's far too much, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Every weekend they'll probably have to drive up on a Friday night and come back on a Sunday.
Yeah, the weekend's done, isn't it? I mean, you're getting to play Step 2 football, which is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but for what it is, and they know that they can probably walk into any other Step 3 side.
Yeah.
And you said about the teams there, like you've got likes of Ketter and Hells Owen, Telford, but even like the other Step 3 divisions, like even yours, there's some big clubs in there as well. So yeah, I mean, it's
massive.
I think Lee Bircham will get a good team together. He always has wherever he's gone.
Yeah,
but yeah, the commitment's going to be hard.
Nah, for sure. But yeah, I think that's.
So our second guest of the evening founded Caversham United in 2015 as a Sunday League club. Now with over 4 teams and a women's team, we are delighted to welcome Paul to the show. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Good evening.
Paul.
Mate. Excited to be here.
No, pleasure. Thank you for coming on. So for our listeners who don't know about Caversham United, can you tell us a bit of background about the club, why you founded it, and where it's grown to?
Yeah, of course. So I started Caversham United back in 2015. And for those of you that don't know, Caversham is in Reading, in the south. So we originally started as a Sunday League team because I was playing for a team and I wanted to do it myself. And fast forward 10 years, we've now got 4 teams at the club. So we've got 2 Sunday League teams, a women's team who play in Tier 6 nationally and in the FA Cup and stuff.
Wow.
This season we started a Saturday non-league men's side who have actually just locked in promotion this weekend. So a decent season all in all.
Very good.
Yeah, and they play in the East Berks League, is it?
That's it. East Berks Division 1 this season.
Wow. So straight up into Premier first season.
Yeah, that should be the case next season.
And then, so is there dreams of the pyramid, Step 6, or?
There is. I've just got to figure out where we would play our games. That's be one of the biggest challenges we'd have in the initial stages of our kind of pyramid journey. But
yeah, so let's take it back a bit then. So when you first started Caversham United, obviously you were playing in the Reading League anyway on a Sunday.
Yeah.
What was your view for the club? Because I know you've done a lot of, it's not just football, you do a lot of charity work as well and bringing a spotlight on Sunday League. Was that the vision to begin with, or did it just grow from a team?
It grew from a team, really. When I started, the team was really bad. Struggling to finish anywhere but bottom of the the Reading Sunday League, and then it got to the summer of 2018. So we'd done 3 seasons, and I mean, not all of the seasons were bad, but the one before that was probably the worst one we had. And it didn't help that we that season we ended up playing 13 games in April, which pretty much dominated my whole squad, playing 3-4 games a week for a month solid. Anyway, we came back after the kind of end of season summer break, and I only had 5 or 6 players at the first pre-season training session who looked like they wanted to carry on. So I thought, this is looking great. And that's when I had the idea to go to social media and see if we could see any players that were looking to play football. And to be fair, there was quite a bit of interest. And a few weeks later, we had 25 or so players turning up to train. And I thought, social media's done us a favour there. And that's when I kind of had a little bit of a look around to see what some of the much bigger clubs like Roma and Bayer Leverkusen were kind of engaging with their followers, and it was a pretty different take to the normal kind of corporate sort of stuff that football clubs were doing at the time. And I thought, I wonder, we're obviously a tiny grassroots club, but can we do something like that to try and build our profile up a bit? And it also filled a bit of time commuting to work on the train. Also played into it, but so from kind of late 2018 we started to gain a few followers on Twitter, and it kind of snowballed from there over the next few years until we had more of a follower base and a crazy number of followers for a Sunday League team. And that's when I kind of realized that actually I can now use this follower base to land some other stuff, like I'm sure we'll touch on it, but like some of the charity things we did and some of the kind of more outrageous bits and pieces we did for a Sunday League football team, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got the likes of the YouTube Sunday League teams, but you took a different direction instead of building. So you built Caversham United's profile to get them out there to, wow, it's gone continental, really, hasn't it, with some of the teams that are following. But it's more from the outside looks around like the community and culture rather than showcasing the kind of your games and the team. So you touched on the charities there. Obviously, you had Balls to Cancer for a couple of seasons on your shirt. Are they charities that are close to you or close to the team, or was it just an opportunity that kind of came along?
Yeah, there's various links behind the different charities, and we still have Balls to Cancer on our shirts actually. The women's team had breast cancer now on their shirt for a couple of seasons, and we've recently been doing a few bits for Sport in Mind, and all of them have kind of links back to people within the club or people connected to the club in some way. And yeah, it feels good that we can kind of do those bits for them, really. And I think now over the last few years we've raised over £15,000 for charity stuff, which is pretty cool, and hopefully done our bit to kind of raise awareness of some of the campaigns and messages behind them too. Yeah,
that's amazing. And like I say, for a Sunday League team to draw that attention to those very, very worthwhile charities, I mean, that's an amazing work that you've done. So just going, well, sticking with your social media side, like especially Twitter, have you seen since your growth in 2018, especially during and post-COVID, that now the non-league teams have taken it more seriously? Like, how much of an influence does it play on a team for sponsorship, for support, for players?
It's massive, really. You mentioned about the kind of the YouTube teams and the route they went down, which, I mean, fair play. We've played against Palmers, we've played against Hashtag and stuff in the last few years. Decent bunch of lads in both cases, but we were never good enough to showcase our skills on YouTube unless we were going down like the worst team around route. So had to get a little bit creative and try a different approach. But yeah, I mean, the social media stuff, really, it's kind of what's sort of built the club in recent years and what's kept us kind of going through some of the challenges, like especially the money side of things. Like, it's been an absolute godsend to be able to reach out directly to sponsors and for them to see us as potential like a potential club they want to sponsor, because some of the good work we're trying to do on and off the pitch. It's been great for that. Player recruitment, we might not always attract the top quality players, but I mean, we don't struggle to get inquiries in. Like, I think last summer we did your kind of standard Google Forms thing and just sent that to people who got in touch. And we had over 75 people get in touch with us directly over the summer. And then we could just lump them all into pre-season trials and see what we got out the other side. So things like that have been great. And yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the fundraising and the other bits and pieces we've done to kind of raise our profile and try and generate a bit of income for the club as well.
Yeah, well, it's obviously working. You've got, like I say, you've got 4 teams now. So you wouldn't be able to do that, obviously, without the growth that you've had since, well, I guess 2018, really, when it kind of took off. You said, because you say about the players, you've obviously got Bapco, Give Back, Burfield, Tylehurst as well, obviously the big clubs in Reading. Why do you think that those kind of, do you think that those players are they're just teams full of mates, or why do you think you've not attracted that really high level player? That's no disrespect to any of your players, by the way. That sounded awful.
No, there's definitely a who you know kind of thing with some of those teams, and until this point, really, like our Sunday team, not many of them play Saturday football, which is where you've got your Bapco excellent team who've just won everything for the last 3 or 4 seasons now. But some of their players are playing kind of step 3 or even higher in some cases, and they've got those links through that, which is even kind of the roots of the club have got links into Brentford and stuff like that. So you're like, yeah, fair enough. Like, we're not going to compete with that, and we don't need to necessarily. But now we've kind of got our own Saturday team that's starting to give us kind of links that will help the Sunday team and things like that. So I think we'll kind of start to see some of that happen as that kind of develops, I think.
Yeah, that's good. And like I said, that feeds into your vision for the club as well, doesn't it, as it moves forward? So yeah, it's all it all sounds like it's growing organically, which is probably better because of the sustainability side. So no, that's really good. Welchie, anything from you?
No, I was pretty similar to you back in, I think, 2017-18. I formed a Sunday League team, and AFC London Road. Within 3 years, we got to a county cup final and that. But just how much time and effort do you put in, and how much do you love Sunday League in general?
Wow. How much time and effort do I put in?
It's like I found it like a full-time job.
Yeah, it is like a full-time job alongside an actual full-time job that kind of pays for you to eat and live. But yeah, it's quite full on, and I think the club's kind of getting to a point where I'm like, I'm not sure how much more I can do on top of it. I'm slightly nervous of where any future growth goes without kind of some growing the back room a bit first, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Sunday League, the Sunday League scene. It's just so accessible to anyone, really. Like, even if you're a terrible footballer, there's still teams and leagues out there that you can go out and have a laugh with your mates and whatever. And that's definitely a big part of it. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I kind of started the Sunday League Day sort of movement, which backs, of course, on non-league day. But thought, you know what, why not why not try and make a thing of this? So that's kind of slowly doing its thing in the back.
Yeah, it's taken off, isn't it? I was going to mention that because I knew that you were the one that started it. It was been going about 3 years now.
Yeah, a couple of years. So this
because obviously you had your local derby against Rose and Thistle last season on Sunday League Day, and you managed to pull out one of Reading legend Dave Kitson. How did that come about?
Yeah, it's not often you see an ex-Premier League striker in the Reading Sunday League, I must say.
No.
How did that all come about? So Dave, and we're on first name terms now, so that's good. Weirdly, he was one of my favourite Reading players growing up, watching the team, and then suddenly he was playing for my team on a Sunday. That was one of those moments. But he started up an academy sort of coaching business locally. And they were reaching out to a few local clubs to put on sort of trial sessions to, I guess, generate a bit of interest and clients and stuff like that. Anyway, we got chatting after a trial session they did for us, and then he came and did a Q&A down at the brewery that sponsor us, and that was decent. So we got chatting after that, and then agreed to go for a few beers. And anyway, I managed to convince him that getting his boots back out after 10 years to play some Sunday League football was a really good idea, and one that would definitely help his business gain some publicity. And amazingly, he did it, and he hasn't played again since. But to be fair to him, he in the lead up to the thing was saying, right, he'll just do a cameo because legs are gone and all that sort of stuff. Fine, do 10 minutes at the end. He texted me the night before and he said, do you mind if I start and maybe do 45 and I'll just give you a shout when I'm ready to come off? I was like, yeah, sure. And then it got to the day itself and he played the full 90 minutes and he did not have any interest in coming off. I was like, brilliant.
Still hungry. He scored as well, didn't he?
He scored 2 goals and one of them was a 92nd minute equaliser, which pretty much spared our blushes in the local derby. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's always going to go down. Because did he? So before that, he was announced as the manager of. No, I'm going to get this pronunciation wrong. Nauru, Pacific Island. Did that? What happened there? Did that ever come about for him? Did he mention that when he was with you?
So I think this happened after, but there was potential talk of us going out and actually playing them in the game. Wow. And I don't know if you've ever looked where that is on a map, but it's.
I did, yeah.
It's probably easier to get to the moon than there at the moment. You'd have to fly into Brisbane or something, and then it's another 4 hours back into the sea.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I've done the article for Football in Berkshire. When I was researching it, I was like, oh my word, it's literally the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they'd essentially agreed to play us in one of their first ever games when they formed this team, but we'd have to self-fund it, and it looked like it cost us about 50 grand to get a squad out there. I was like, wow, we've done some fundraising, but this is a whole nother level of so sadly it didn't quite happen, but you never know, maybe one day.
So we were saying it's remote. It's 300 kilometers east of Papua New Guinea, so
there you go.
Yeah, and that 50 grand wouldn't have gone far, would it?
I mean, I had a little look into some of the history of the island, and it's apparently completely ravaged for all of its resources. It sounds like a mad place, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be so far.
So far, yeah. I mean, the growth you've been going so far, there's plenty of things on the horizon for sure.
Yeah, if anyone's watching this now and wants to fund us to travel,
get in touch for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I love about yourself, especially on Twitter, is the kit competition. So you've done it every year, haven't you?
So this was a thing that came about in 2018 once we adopted so we adopted the social media thing and started to gain a few followers, and then we decided to. I pretty much do most of this myself. Decided to do a bit of a kind of rebrand through our new follower base. So not only did we get a kit design that time, we also got the new club badge and also adopted the goat's nickname. That all came through like a Twitter, all through Twitter kind of polls and stuff, and the whole like campaign caught a few eyes, and we brought on a sponsor through that, which kind of made me think this is a great idea to keep going with, and we got a decent kit out of it and all of that stuff, and just thought, actually, yeah, this is something that's working. And the kit competition particularly has been something we've kept, and I think we've just done the 7th version of that. So yeah, it keeps on rolling year after year, and we get so many cracking entries into it. You're like, I'm glad I've not got to pick which one wins there.
Yeah, well, some of the kits, they've been out there, haven't they? They have been quite loud over the years. So I remember playing against you years and years ago
oh, really?
At Laurel Park, yeah, for Loxford Park Rangers.
Ah, okay.
That was a long time ago. That's probably about 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I remember that kit then was pretty out there. So it's a great initiative. I think a lot more clubs should adopt it. I know some clubs do it for like local schools to get their engagement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, you've had some fantastic kits for it. So yeah, it's obviously paying off. Because Hope and Glory now as well, that's quite a big manufacturer, isn't it?
Yeah, they've kind of sponsored all the kits this season, which is great, and they've made the last few as well. So yeah, we've formed a good relationship with them, which is cool.
Mm. Good. So what does the future hold then for Caversham United as a club rather than individual teams?
That's a really good question. And sometimes I don't even know kind of what direction I'm going in, which is slightly worrying. I think for me now, we've kind of got the teams in the different streams of football now with the non-league thing. So we've kind of covered almost the whole weekend full of football, which is great. So I think now is kind of about kind of strengthening those club foundations and sort of setting us up for future success. And whether that's in the future, maybe we'll add more teams, but we're certainly not adding any teams this summer that I'm aware of. And yeah, it will just be about kind of making those routes for the future. Like if we do want to try and progress up the men's or the women's pyramids a bit further with either of those teams, and just making sure the club's got a lasting base. And I guess my ultimate aim is that the club will outlast me running the club. In that there'll be other people involved that can, if I need to step back or I'm done with it one day, who knows? But I want the club to kind of live on past it being my club.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of my aim for the kind of medium-term future, I suppose.
Leave a legacy in Caversham as well. Obviously, I know Reading as a whole, but for the little town of, village of Caversham, on the outskirts of Reading, it would be great to have a sustainable club there for younger kids to come through, and obviously young girls as well with the women's team who look to be going from strength to strength as well. They're playing the 6th tier. I know we've got teams like Woodley and Ascot in the area as well who are doing amazing things in the women's game. So emulating that could be great as well for Caversham.
Yeah, definitely. And I think my biggest challenge is the kind of facilities thing at the moment. Like we play at a couple of venues with the teams in the Atrium, which obviously hosts Bapco, like who we aspire to be, I guess. And at Maple Durham Playing Fields, which is run by Caversham Trents, who are the youth setup that we're partnered with.
Oh, okay.
They don't have any adult teams. We don't have any youth teams. So it was a natural kind of, hey, let's make this work as a kind of partnership. So that's good. But yeah, it will just be kind of, that whole kind of facilities question and what we can do about that. But yeah, that's not going to solve itself overnight, I don't think.
No, well, like I said, it's a long-term project for you. You've done an amazing job since starting in 2015. So it's already been going 10 years and the growth's been incredible. So can only see it going further, and hopefully that legacy does stay around in Caversham, because it's been great so far.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and thank you.
Appreciate no problem. Well, Paul, thank you for joining us tonight. It was really, really insightful to speak about, and quite interesting for those maybe not as familiar with Sunday League and yourself. So yeah, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. Appreciate it, mate.
Can I just make a quick pitch for potential?
Yes, you can, yeah.
Before I go.
Go for it.
So podcast obviously called Non-League Heroes, and I could really do with 1 or 2 non-league heroes to come and join me at Caversham. And hey, we like to do things differently. I'm very open to ideas and kind of, if you've got some crazy event or whatever you want to kind of use the club for and things like that, I'm all for it. So if you want to come and be part of something that's a little bit different, but at the same time and supporting some important kind of charities and messages, and also having fun, like it's fun to be part of this club, right? So yeah, if that's of any interest.
Well, we got a lot of people in our group, which has grown from social media admins around the Berkshire area. So yeah, if they listen to this, we'll fire it out and hopefully get some contact.
Love
that. Sure. Now, well done, Paul. Cheers, mate.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
All the best.
Cheers.
Paul Guttridge from Caversham United there. I mean, you probably haven't heard as much about them as I have down this way, Welchie, but for a Sunday League club, they may not, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, they might not be the best on the pitch, but off the pitch, they do some incredible stuff.
Yeah, well, to be fair to him, I started off pretty similar to him, and after 3-4 years, I was in the same boat as him, but I just couldn't deal with it anymore. It's literally like a full-time job, so fair play to keep going.
Really well, we say our social media stuff's like a second full-time job. If he's doing that, the management, being the chairman and everything, then he must put so much time into that. And for the way they've grown as well is incredible. Like they're in the East Berks League. They just got promotion to the Premier, which is a feeder league, into Step 6. So if they can sort facilities out and get sustainable, then they could well be in the pyramid in a couple of years, which would be incredible.
Yeah, no, I take my hat off to, well, literally, I take my hat off to anyone who does it from that, because I'd done it. And literally for 2-3 years, we cleared up in St Albans on a Sunday morning. But, mate, you were falling out with your mates, the financial side of it. People couldn't be bothered to pay you £5 subs. Fucking ball ache, mate, trust me. And in the end, I just said, listen, I was paying £1,000 out of my own pocket every season. And I said, this ain't doing it. But now, fair play to anyone, especially Paul, who's kept it going. He's on to bigger and better things now, for sure. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I think that wraps up the episode quite nicely, mate. To be honest, he touched on the non-league heroes, which is what obviously we're all about. And he's absolutely one of them with the charity work they've done and bringing a club into Caversham. So yeah, I mean, what have you got on this week?
This week I've got I've got the Berkhamsted presentation evening Wednesday. It's half term. I can't believe it's fucking half term again, mate. I've got the kids again, so we were looking about just booking somewhere and going away for a few days, but nothing. Other than that, nothing. What about you?
No, we've obviously got the National League playoff semi-finals that are going to be going on. But by the time this recording goes out, they'll already be done. We'll know who the finalists are.
Who's in that? Southend v.
Southend against Oldham. No. Scrap that. Southend are away at Forest Green.
Right.
And Oldham have York City.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Good
big games. Say again.
Hopefully Southend has got to keep supporting our boy Gus.
Yeah, I mean, the momentum, that comeback, I don't know why we didn't touch on it at the beginning of the show, but that comeback against Rochdale was phenomenal.
3-1 down.
Like, incredible. Away from home as well.
Yeah.
The mentality the mentality to go away at Gateshead and nick a point, and then to come from behind against Rochdale and beat them away from home, being what were they, 2 or 3 down?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, momentum's with them. I'm backing them all the way. Still, I said Bournemouth. I've said not Scunthorpe. I said Southend.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon see. This time next week, we'll see where you're at.
We will. But for now, that is that from me. That is that from you. But appreciate everyone listening still, engaging with us on socials. Obviously, we can't do what we do without our listeners and guests. So yeah, it's very much appreciated.
Yeah, keep liking and sharing. We appreciate your support. And still, guests, if you are listening and you want to come on, you're part of the non-league scene, drop us a message, drop my private message, drop Dan a private message, or Dino, anyone. We're happy to get you on. We've got gaps. We are getting quite full. We get a lot of people coming on, but we can find gaps and get you in there. Don't worry about it. But yeah, for me, good night. God bless.
Peace out.